l'audio de la partie. Dans le cas où je fais une partie, un audio sur machin.
Bah ça marche. De Vampyr. Que le tout début, il savait pas grand-chose. Avec vous directement en live, ce sera plus sympa. La barre des commentaires sur le côté, parce que ça me... Non, ça veut pas, hein.
Sinon, tu t'arrêtes ça et tu refais.
Non, bah je vais...
Tu vas regarder.
Grave. Tant pis. Alors, c'est parti. Donc la sauvegarde automatique. Alors du peu que j'avais joué, j'avais trouvé ça plutôt sympa. Je sais pas pourquoi j'ai pas continué. Ouais, c'est ça, je crois que c'était le déménagement et le Covid, ouais. Moi je vais prendre le mode histoire, histoire de vraiment mode histoire 2, de vraiment profiter du scénario en espérant qu'il soit cool. Et puis parce que je suis pas hyper forte quand il s'agit de combattre des gens ou des trucs du genre.
Crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Ok, bon, c'est joyeux dès le départ.
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree,
Ça fonctionne toujours là?
mortality was believed to
Que
be
ça m'a marqué
God's
que c'était
punishment,
insuffisant pour...
a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution.
Ok.
A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
Je vois pas. Trop loin. Ah, il est pas en forme lui. Il me semble que dans le jeu, on va pouvoir choisir. En fait, si on est un vampire sympa, alors là, c'est à moi. Si on est un vampire entre guillemets, ouais, sympa, ou si on va genre bouffer tout le monde. Je me suis pas encore décidée sur l'avenir du personnage. On verra bien. Ah ouais, je les vois en rouge. Genre, je vois leur sang, quoi. Leur cœur. Ah non, je peux pas. Madame, est-ce que je peux vous bouffer? Regarde, il a trop envie de le croquer à plein dents. Oh. On va pas demander mon avis, hein. Bah, les graphismes sont pas ouf pour l'instant. Après, je crois qu'il est pas tout jeune comme jeu. Enfin, tout jeune. Ah, chaud.
Mary!
Il a croqué sa sœur.
No! Mary!
Ah bah là, Mary, elle est cuite.
Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh God.
Non mais t'as bouffé la carotide, c'est mort.
Mary. Mary. No. No.
On voit quand même une claire différence entre les graphismes de celui-ci et de The Last of Us 2 quand t'as joué hier. Ah ouais, carrément, mais bon. Tu vois bien que c'est un autre niveau, quoi.
It's a nightmare.
Ah.
No! Please, a moment, let me explain!
Ok, bon bah là ça va être une scène en gros où je vais devoir rush
These
pour...
patrols are after me.
Oh, j'aime pas ce genre de
Don't
scène là.
shoot! This is a nightmare.
Possible.
I need to get out of here.
Je ne sais pas. Oh.
This can't be happening. No, please, stop! I mean you no harm.
Par là. Normalement, dans ce genre de jeu, les chemins sont toujours
Oh, Mary,
illuminés.
what have I done?
Enfin,
What's all this about?
ouais, voilà, c'est ça.
Now, I can defend myself.
Ouais.
Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no
Okay.
choice.
R3, je verrouille. Et carré, je tabasse.
Who are you? Stupid beast! Sorry.
Ah, l'enfoiré. Bah non, ils m'ont pas encore dit. Ah merde, j'ai pas vu.
No, please, stop!
C'est comment?
Who are you?
Ouais. Ok.
What do you want? I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech!
Ouais, c'est ça.
Please,
Ah, le con.
listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's
quel
name?
soleil.
Just leave me.
Ok, c'est reparti.
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide. Right now! Let me go! I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place?
Ouais, pousse l'armoire, déjà. Ça, c'est la base. Toujours pousser un meuble
Place
devant une
seems
porte.
abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
Ah bah ouais, t'as bouffé ta sœur. C'est con quand même.
What have you done?
Mary! Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Bah déjà, personne t'a obligé à la bouffer, hein. Ah ok. Donc on peut ramasser des shillings. Ouais, c'était. Alors. Donc ça c'est notre menu, ok, pas mal. Aucune mission. Ouais, j'imagine qu'il va y avoir des missions principales et des missions secondaires en quelque sorte. Situation sanitaire. Ah ouais, ok. D'accord. Genre, t'as la qualité du sang des individus que tu croques. C'est chaud. Alors, c'est ça que j'ai pas eu le temps de lire. Soleil et feu. Les suceurs de sang ne craignent pas le soleil. Ils ne sont pas immédiatement réduits en cendres s'ils sont touchés par ces rayons. Par contre, cela leur fait très très mal. Ok.
Donc potentiellement, tu peux passer là où il y a du soleil.
C'est ça. Tu peux passer, mais à tes risques et périls, quoi. Salut Undertaker King. Comment tu vas? Ok, bon, on va essayer de découvrir un peu ce qui se passe. J'ai pas envie d'ouvrir la porte tout de suite parce que je sais pas si ça va me mener à l'extérieur. Et je pense qu'il y a d'autres trucs à découvrir forcément. On nous aurait pas emmené là sinon. Ok, bouteille d'alcool, peut-être pour faire des soins j'imagine. Je vois pas trop pourquoi d'autre sinon dans un jeu. Alors, est-ce qu'on a des trucs intéressants? Bah ouais, écoute, ça va. Là, je vais jouer hyper rapidement. Ah bah il va pas avoir son reflet normalement.
Trees for the Red Queen that sleeps under crown stone, that she might linger longer, her eyes as white as gold. Who goes there?
Mais donc, qui l'a transformé en vampire? Ça va être ça la grosse question.
Are you referring to me?
Parce que du coup, j'imagine qu'il va vouloir se venger. Parce que pour lui, c'est de la faute de cette personne-là s'il a bouffé sa sœur.
I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
On va voir, on va voir.
Pour l'anecdote, en fait, je pense comprendre pourquoi la croyance veut qu'un vampire ne voit pas son reflet dans un miroir. Simplement
Ouais.
parce que à ces époques-là, on disait que le miroir reflétait l'âme.
Ouais, et un vampire n'a pas d'âme normalement.
Et il laissait dans le malade quand tu pries la
Enfin, n'a pas d'âme. À condition déjà que tu crois à l'existence potentielle d'une âme.
Donc, les
Ah,
vampires,
mon premier flingue.
la notion de vampire est une création même des religions.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
There's time. I can save him.
Bah, les vampires sont un peu religieux au même rang que les
Do you want
sorcières.
us
Et
to
compagnie,
evacuate
quoi.
the hospital?
On voit qu'en fait, de l'eau bénite, des gouttes
done.
C'est ça.
He'll live. And now what? We fight.
Une
Killing is a
invention.
hell of a lot easier than healing.
Pour faire peur aux non-croyants. Et dire, mais
Ouais,
No, it
probable,
never got
probable.
easy.
Donc j'ai eu un revolver usé, ok, qui fait 45 dégâts. Donc on a moyen de les améliorer apparemment, ça c'est cool. C'est plutôt pas mal. Et j'imagine... Ah ouais, il va y avoir moyen d'avoir pas mal d'armes différentes quoi. Ça va être cool. Ok, pas mal. C'est plutôt chouette. Tant qu'à faire. C'est toujours sympa je trouve dans les jeux de ce genre là quand t'as moyen de... d'avoir ton arme et de l'améliorer comme tu souhaites. Wow, oh non, j'ai trop la flemme de lire les trucs longs comme ça. 15 octobre, journal ensanglanté. Pff, tu lis tous ces trucs là toi?
non. Mais je crois que les devs ils se sont dit
Trop long.
les gens lisaient. Alors, mais le truc c'est que si tu les lis, il y a tant de chances que tu
Que t'aies des infos.
certaines infos intéressantes pour
Ouais.
l'histoire et tout ça.
Mais tellement long.
Un peu petit bébé toi. Ouais.
Il va se taper une petite
This
sieste.
makes no sense. None of it. No
Du coup,
sense
vu que
at
c'est un
all.
vampire, normalement, il a plus besoin de dormir.
Peut-être qu'il va encore les plein de besoins.
It's a nightmare. That's
Le
it.
temps de la transformation.
Alors,
Moi, j'espère qu'on va avoir le choix, en fait, de croquer, genre, des personnes mauvaises. Tu vois, genre, on sait que tel mec,
So be it.
c'est un connard, parce que... Enfin, c'est une méchante personne, parce que il a fait du mal et tout, tu vois. Et du coup, tu peux le croquer sans perdre de ta réputation.
Rational thinking only.
Mais il va pas le faire. Fin du jeu. Non. Mais les gars, vous m'avez demandé de tirer. Genre, tu crois que j'ai joué ou c'est l'intro de départ du coup? Ah. Ah, il est mal. Oh, c'est chaud.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Ouais, je crois que c'est un ancien médecin. Mais par contre, du coup, ça veut dire que genre il a bu trop de sang de sa sœur en fait, parce que sinon sa sœur se serait simplement transformée. Ah, évolution. Les lits des refuges vous permettent de vous reposer et d'évoluer. Cool. Dépensez des points d'expérience pour monter d'un niveau et améliorer vos compétences vampiriques. Ok. Très bien. Donc là, autophagie. Alors,
Autophagie, c'est-à-dire que tu suces ton propre sang?
ben non, enfin ouais. Utilise le pouvoir de son sang pour soigner les dégâts normaux et aggravés et augmenter la régénération de sa chair. Ouais, bah ça c'est pas mal en vrai. Hop. De toute façon, j'avais que ça de potentiellement améliorable. Tout le reste c'était lock.
Et là, t'as pas les 200 dégâts.
Non.
Les trucs là.
Bah tu sais pas. Comment tu sais si j'ai ou pas?
Parce que t'avais eu l'heure de consommer des points en fait que tu avais cumulés pour
Ouais, mais je vois pas où je vois mes points en fait.
la quantité de points.
Alors, compétences actives, compétences passives. Vous avez assez d'expérience pour développer une compétence agressive. Ok, donc j'ai le choix avec griffe. Attaque à courte portée qui peut découper toute créature vivante devant vous. Ok, pas mal. Vous projetez une lance faite de sang qui peut transpercer les ennemis devant vous. Ok. Et vous placez un nuage d'ombre à vos pieds ou à ceux de vos cibles. Le nuage explose après quelques secondes. Uh-huh. Portée longue, courte. Je sais pas trop, j'ai hésité. Je pense que je vais prendre les lances. Ouais, c'est pas mal les lances. Ça me plaît bien. Ah, mais si, c'est là mon nombre d'expérience. Là, il m'en reste 110. Et là, ça me coûtait 1000. Dès qu'il y a. Ok, confirmé, ça me plaît bien. Bon, j'ai hâte de découvrir un peu plus. Voir ce que ça va donner comme jeu.
That voice in my head.
Alors, ma mission me rendra North Bank. Ok. Eh, ça se passe à Londres, en plus j'avais pas fait gaffe,
I'm
c'est
not
cool.
mad then. It must belong to the one who made me.
Donc
What I
je
am.
vérifie bien si
I
on
must
n'a
find
rien
him to
oublié.
understand what I have become.
Ok. Oh, c'est quoi les gens qu'on entend là? Oh, ça va être chaud patate. Je vais être obligée de courir encore. Salut Pictachon, comment tu vas? Bah, ils essaient de rentrer.
These
Ah ouais,
people
regarde.
want me dead. I need to leave
Ok,
now.
ok, je fuis, je fuis. Inutile d'insister.
Here's the leech.
Oh merde.
Here!
Ah ouais! Carrément plus sympa que de sauter. Tu connais pas ce jeu? Ben, c'est Vampyr du coup, et ça a l'air plutôt pas mal. Oh, oh. Bah ouais, je suis plutôt d'accord, ça a l'air assez sympa. Là, je découvre assez rapidement. Hop. Alors, arme main gauche. Les armes main gauche peuvent être utilisées en appuyant sur la touche. Ok. Ok, ok, on se détend.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
Alors, appuyez sur triangle pour utiliser votre pieu et infliger des dégâts d'étourdissement. Ok, pas mal. Et là, du coup, je peux le mordre. Mais est-ce que ça va me rendre méchant? Ah ouais, mais au bout d'un moment, faut bien que je mange, hein. T'es rigolo, toi. Alors, R1.
This shouldn't be possible.
Ah!
My sinews, every fiber of my being is afire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Ah merde. Hop, allez. Boum.
My strength.
Est-ce que je récupère des trucs sur leur corps? Ah ouais, j'avais pas encore
I'm
regardé.
not human anymore.
Poudre d'aluminium. Mais ouais, Pictachon, si t'es encore là, ça a l'air cool. plutôt d'accord. Plaque de plomb, ok. État du quartier stable. Bon, et puis Tachon, tu votes pour que je sois un vampire genre sympa qui bouffe que les méchants, ou genre un vampire impitoyable et je croque tout le monde. Dis-moi, je te laisse. Je te laisse un vote. Tuez-les tous. Ok, donc impitoyable. Engagez-vous, votre roi et votre pays ont besoin de vous. Oh bah non, non, non. Vampire à la guerre, ça va être
My
chaud.
poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood.
Ouais, mais est-ce que si je tombe
Mary,
du coup sur un mec
someone
hyper
will pay for
sympa,
what
genre
happened
dans
to
le
you.
jeu, qui veut devenir mon
For
pote,
what happened to
qui
us.
m'aide et tout, tu vois, est-ce que je le tue?
I can't believe
Ah
I'm
ouais, j'ai
doing
bouffé un rat.
this.
Ok. Des shillings. Ah ouais, je peux en fait juste bouffer des animaux.
This is despicable.
Ah, il a pas l'air de kiffer ça, par contre.
Ouais, mais
It's
du coup,
locked.
ça me permet, si j'en ai envie.
It's locked, all right.
Ok, mais tout est fermé en fait. Ah ok, c'est pour que je passe par là. Ah oui. Pas mal ça.
The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it.
Ok, donc faut que je fasse gaffe, il y a l'air d'y avoir pas mal de petits recoins où il y a de l'argent à récup et tout.
It's locked. What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions
Je dois
unanswered.
ouvrir et descendre. Ok, bah, de toute façon c'est verrouillé. Donc ça c'est vite fait. Ça fait un peu labyrinthe là, on va dire. En fait, les gens ils déposent leur fric partout dans la ville.
Another
Des
corpse.
squats.
Have the very streets
Ah,
of
ouais.
London become a mausoleum?
Le nouveau Lego Star Wars, je sais pas. Là, le prochain que j'attends, notamment sur, ça va être sur PS5 normalement. C'est le nouveau Assassin's Creed c'est commencé déjà Valhalla, un truc du genre.
The man has been
À l'époque
drained
des
of all
Vikings,
blood,
ça va être trop cool.
but I can still smell the scent of it.
En plus, je serai en congé maternité, donc tranquille pour pouvoir y jouer.
I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Et ouais, il y avait pas mal de jeux sur PS5 qui m'intriguaient pas mal.
Fresh
Ah
blood.
ok, on a du coup
The
compétence
smell is so strong.
de... pour suivre le sang quoi.
Something dire must have come about.
Ouais. Ah, là il y a du sang.
Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
Probable, ouais. C'est pas impossible. Ouais, je le sens.
I have
Boum.
thirst for
Ouais, j'avoue.
blood.
Refuge caché. Bon, ça va être par là le refuge. Non? Page arrachée d'un journal intime. Ok. Ah ok, c'est des racistes. Sabrina Cavendish, c'est qui ça? Bilan de santé inconnu. Sabrina dissimule ses vrais sentiments pour son patron Tom Watts. Ok, mais je sais pas qui est Sabrina ni qui est Tom Watts. Donc, on va découvrir. Hein. Je vais en profiter pour explorer un petit peu. Quoique, est-ce que je m'éloigne maintenant? Parce que j'aurai forcément l'occasion de revenir ici. Ça a l'air d'être un monde ouvert.
That's strange. The trail is very erratic, as if the killer was drunk or hesitant.
Non. Ah oui, d'accord. Inconnu.
At last, a little
Ah,
life.
pas mal.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Whoever he may be.
Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there
Ça,
any
c'est
way I can
Sabrina,
help
je
you?
crois.
I don't know.
Elle a l'air de
Maybe you could
ressembler à
just
la
talk to
fille
me.
sur la photo.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to
Oh, direct, elle
strangers.
parle de Tom, c'est elle.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I
Ah,
mean,
elle a des trucs à cacher.
I best check on them.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Ok.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe
Ah,
place
eux
to
aussi,
stay.
ils ont une épidémie.
You
En
don't
fait,
seem to
le
have much
Covid, ça va
business.
tous nous rendre
Where is
maudits.
everybody?
Ah.
Well, most people are sleeping right now,
Non, Vampyr.
and those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many
Et
dead,
genre, il
sir.
peut pas lui poser des
First the
questions
epidemic.
sur
Now all
son
these
semblant
terrible
de
murders.
relation avec Tom et tout là.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
The murders.
Ah ouais, ouais, mais ce serait
What
trop
can you
chaud
say
pour les
about them?
réponses.
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say
Ouais, je sais pas
the
trop.
sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows.
Ça me paraît quasi
People have
infaisable en
always
fait, dit comme
disappeared
ça.
around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed.
Ouais,
now
ouais,
he's
ça
killing in the
déclencherait
streets.
une réponse.
Mais tu pourrais avoir plusieurs fois la même réponse.
Ouais, ouais, je vois
Et
le
au bout
genre.
d'un moment, le personnage te dirait non, mais là, demandez-moi autre chose.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
Bon, ce qui me plaît bien dans le jeu pour l'instant, c'est qu'il y a l'air d'y avoir quand même pas mal de... Ouais,
evening,
et
sir.
de... presque
I wondered
d'enquête.
if I could ask for your help.
Wow.
J'aime
you
bien
look
que
like
ce
you
soit
need
pas
a
genre
drink.
que de la
Yes.
bagarre, tu vois.
I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders?
Putain, je sais.
Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters.
C'est ces griffes là, le bruit que j'ai
It's
entendu?
easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
Parce que ça va traverser.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last
Que,
few
vu le
hours?
bruit, je me
I don't
demande
know and
si
I
ça va
don't
pas accrocher
care.
le canapé
This
en
is a
dessous.
free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
I'll
Ok,
leave
donc
you to
lui,
your
il a
bottle
rien
then.
à me dire, globalement. Et c'est qui Tom là-dedans? Faut que je trouve un
My
Tom.
God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you.
Bon, Tom, j'ai du
I'm
zor.
not thirsty.
Non, mais
Well,
t'as
grab
cru.
a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Alors, je vois qu'il y a des trucs en jaune. J'ai l'impression que c'est genre... Peut-être qu'en étant vampire, on a une sorte d'influence, tu vois. Salut Alvina, oui, ça va et toi? On va lui demander si la
Why
nuit
is
va
it
être
going to
longue.
be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found.
Mais donc,
And those poor sods
va être un
didn't die
médecin.
of flu.
mais un médecin
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
qui globalement va mener
Before
une
the
enquête en
outbreak,
même temps,
coppers never came
tout en
round
étant
here.
vampire.
We're on our own.
Le mec,
People
il est
die in these
multi-casquette,
parts all the time, and
à
no
fond,
one
quoi.
cares.
Ok.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this
La
dangerous part
tortue
of town.
turquoise. Ok.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
Tu chill, bah c'est plutôt cool de chiller.
So
C'est
you're
plutôt
open all night?
c'est une bonne
Yep.
chose, non?
Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently.
Ah, un
Wondered
peu
if you might
malade.
help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah.
Apparemment, t'as envie
He
de
paid for
vomir.
the entire week.
Je comprends. T'inquiète. Ça fait 5 mois que je vomis. Qui
Who
est
is
cet
this man?
homme?
What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well dressed, quite polite.
Ouais, mais ceux qui paraissent
Professor, or
gentlemen,
something
c'est
fancy
toujours
like
sans
that. Always
méfier.
writing, reading notes.
J'ai quoi? Bah...
How long has he been here?
We rented a room a few
Je
days ago and didn't
suis
say when he'd
enceinte
leave.
de 5 mois et du coup, ben,
I need to meet this
je,
man.
ben,
I have
j'ai été et je suis encore un
Just climb
peu
the stairs
très
and knock
malade.
on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Non, non, t'inquiète, pas de funny business.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Confronter l'homme au premier étage du Turquoise Turtle. Ok, mais y a personne d'autre à qui je peux parler? Elle a des trucs à me dire,
Hello,
je suis
sir.
sûre.
Are you alright? Is
C'est
there any
chaud.
way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then.
Ah, t'es trop
He's
jeune
more
pour
agreeable
comprendre.
talking to strangers.
Bah ouais, ça peut arriver, je sais pas quel âge t'as,
I'll leave
mais...
Thank you.
C'est... Bah, ça dépend de ton âge, quoi. Quand même, un petit peu. Malade, j'espère que t'as pas le Covid, hein, parce que...
He didn't deserve.
Ah ouais, 14, c'est un peu tôt.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
Ma nièce, elle a 15 ans. Si elle me disait qu'elle était enceinte, je le vivrais mal.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
You, sir?
Comment elle a pu sentir que quelqu'un les écoute?
You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Ah, peut-être. C'est peut-être une vampire, ouais.
Slowly,
Ah bah le Covid, faut faire tester. Oh putain, il sort des crucifix.
saith the vampire.
Direct.
Present yourself.
Le mec, il est dans l'agressivité direct, quoi. Ouais, c'est clair, il a un crucifix à pile. Ah, ça y est, il l'a éteint.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
Bon, et ceux qui regardent le stream, là, je vous laisse voter. À savoir si... Non, si je suis un vampire sympa, genre je mange des rats, des personnes méchantes et tout, ou est-ce que je suis genre un vampire impitoyable?
And who might...
Donc lui... Bah ouais, je peux manger tout le monde si je veux.
Ah, maman,
Bah je pense. Regarde, il me donne bien la qualité de son sang. Donc j'imagine que je peux le bouffer si j'ai envie. Mais déjà, le mec, il a un nom de famille, c'est la capitale du Pays de Galles. C'était marrant comme blague. Gentil. Ok, bah pour l'instant, on a un vote gentil, un vote méchant. Hein. Je te le cache pas. Tout à l'heure, on a c'était Pictachoun, je crois, hein, qui a voté. Je me souviens plus de sa question. Du coup, je sais pas quoi répondre. Je ne sais plus vraiment.
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir,
Bah
you have
ouais.
entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
Bah, je suis une victime en vrai.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
Bah, on a le même but. Je vais déjà lui poser des questions classiques, tu vois, parce que si direct je l'attaque en lui disant « Dites-moi ce que vous savez !»
Rumors
Il
of
va dire
violent murders.
bah...
The docks have always been,
Fuck.
shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Est-ce qu'il parle de nous?
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Moi, je pense qu'on peut lui faire confiance en vrai.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Bah oui. Yes.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the
Non mais il
monster.
devrait hurler
He is
encore plus
mine.
fort ton chat.
How will you do any better than I? But then let
Genre,
me
c'est
ask
pas
you
le
this.
chat qui
What
fait
are your
miaou.
intentions if you find
Il
the
fait
killer?
miaou.
I'll end him.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Bah, déjà, il nous dit qu'il espère qu'on va trouver le mec. Mais... il a pas trop... Bah, il nous a pas donné d'infos, quoi.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must...
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
Allez, on va
I
l'attaquer.
spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I
Elle, elle cache
suspect
des
that
trucs.
someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will.
Je peux pas lui dire genre dis-moi la
William
vérité
Bishop.
sinon je te croque.
He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Désosser quelqu'un.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk as usual. But my God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Trop bizarre. Alors, je sais pas ce qui s'est passé, désolé.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why
Oh, bah,
not
il a
tell me
été
about it?
transformé.
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Alors, Tom Watts. Ok. Il était bon ami avec William Bishop. Et elle, c'est son employé. Oh là, leur qualité de sang, par contre, pourri, hein. Ça, c'est parce qu'ils picolent trop dans l'auberge. Je pense. Hein. Dizon Delaunay. Ok. Oh, bon, alors lui, c'est encore pire. Ah ouais. C'est ça, Dyson. Ah ouais, genre le mec il est fatigué, du coup il a sa qualité de sang, elle est moins bien. On va reposer quelques questions. Je suis pas sûre.
Did you find
Je sais
what
pas
you were
trop.
after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
En tant que vampire, vous pouvez forcer un citoyen à vous révéler des informations grâce aux indices que vous avez découverts.
Tom,
Ah ouais.
talk to me about the visit from your old friend William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Ah ah.
Why
Pourquoi
lie
me
to me
mentir?
if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Bah non,
Who
c'est
is he?
clairement pas la
William.
vérité vu qu'il vient d'avouer
Just
que
an old
William
sailor
était
who
venu.
loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Ok.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. Can barely stand up most of the time.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
Ok, donc il a
What'd
un
you expect?
bateau.
He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
On a d'autres trucs à apprendre là. Ça peut pas être les seules infos qu'il y a dans
Hello,
l'auberge.
sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
Merci.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry.
Ah ouais, c'est
I
vrai que
spent
lui il
the
est
night making love to
complètement...
that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
Le mec trop désagréable quand il a picolé.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Ok, et je reposerai bien quand même 2-3 questions à la fille parce que elle nous a quand même mis sur une bonne piste. Elle a l'air de savoir pas mal de trucs.
Look, I told you everything.
Ok, te fâche pas. Ok, je vais faire le tour de l'auberge rapide. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a des traces de sang ou des trucs du genre intéressants? Ça a pas l'air. Ok. On va remonter. C'est vrai que j'ai pas fait le tour.
I cannot enter.
Je veux vraiment essayer de le faire de façon complète. Pas envie de louper des trucs qui pourraient être importants. Sachant qu'il y a quand même une grosse partie enquête qui est assez sympa du coup franchement. Enfin,
Would you be so kind as to leave the room?
ok, trop sympa. Mais ben oui, j'ai l'obligeance de quitter ta chambre, pas de souci. Suffisait de demander. Ok, donc là, faut que je redescende et que j'aille certainement chercher donc le bateau. Le bateau de William, ou je sais plus comment il s'appelle. Ok. Donc faut que je ressorte carrément de l'auberge. Si je comprends bien. État du quartier stable. Tom Watts en bonne santé, ok. J'ai bien envie de checker un peu s'il y a d'autres personnes. Genre des gens que je pourrais interroger et tout. Alors là, je toque à la porte de quelqu'un. Il n'y a personne.
It's locked, all right.
Rentrer. Je me demande juste par où parce que je vois des trucs lumineux à l'intérieur. Enfin, j'ai vu des trucs. Je vais peut-être complètement halluciner. Non, non, il y a bien des trucs qui scintillent donc normalement c'est des trucs que je suis censée pouvoir récupérer. Ok. On s'en fout, on veut pas rejoindre l'armée britannique. On a autre chose à faire. Ok, là je reviens sur mes pas. Donc il faut aller à son bateau qui est juste là. Ouais, maintenant on voit bien, il y a du sang. C'est passé des choses.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker.
Est-ce que
This
cet
man
homme
was
c'est
armed.
Bishop ou c'est
He
un
tried
autre
to
homme?
defend himself. What's this? Some sort of note.
Alors... Patrouille des docks. Attention, selon nos informations... Ok.
These men. They're a company of... There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Over there!
Never known McCullum to be wrong about anything.
Right. No time I can remember. The day.
All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Billy. If the man says bloodsuckers dug in here, you've but one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast.
It's fair enough, Tom. But why do they... I'd head back if I were you, sir. Speak English, do ya?
Hop, toi t'es mort. Non mais ça va, c'est la fête au village ce soir quoi. Ouais. C'est scandaleux, moi je peux pas.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Non mais toutes les portes sont lock en fait. C'est scandaleux. Alors, arme à distance. Équipez-vous d'une arme à distance. Puis appuyez sur un triangle pour l'utiliser et infliger des dégâts standards et des dégâts d'étourdissement.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Alors, je suis en train de voir comment Comment est-ce que je gère mes armes? Ah, voilà. Main gauche. Et je peux mettre soit un flingue, soit un pieu. Je vais garder le pieu parce que le pieu me permet de me nourrir sur les corps. Et ça, c'est pas mal parce que si je me nourris sur les corps, je peux utiliser une sorte de pouvoir magique là. Hop. Fiche d'ennemi. Ok. Certains ennemis sont plus résistants à certains types de dégâts. Ah ouais, d'accord. Résistance moyenne et forte résistance. Ok. Donc lui, il a une forte résistance. Enfin, ils ont tous les deux de forte résistance aux dégâts à distance. Dac. Donc tant qu'à faire, faut que j'arrive en furtif.
Burn it, boys! There's one of them vermin!
Oh, même pas eu le temps de les croquer. Il y en a un de monté ou quoi? Il y a un chat qui fait une connerie là. Ok.
That's this nest of them cleaned out.
Ok, ils sont plusieurs.
Over there! This! There's one of them! Dead! Filthy piece of shit!
Déjà, pourquoi est-ce qu'il m'appelle piece of shit? Je lui permets pas. Bah, ça veut dire morceau de merde, quoi. C'est un poil plus méchant que petite crotte. La flamme de lyre. Ah, il y en a un à l'étage. Ok, ça c'était efficace. Ah ouais, parce que oui, ça me soigne quand je croque quelqu'un. C'est un peu violent quand même. D'accord. Il y a souvent des rats près des refuges. Donc normalement, refuge, ça va me permettre de pouvoir évoluer. Certainement. Ok, cool. Ah ouais, je peux genre... Ça me permet de déposer des trucs aussi, ça c'est cool. Mais est-ce que si je dépose dans un refuge, je récupère dans n'importe lequel? C'est ça la vraie question.
De base, normalement, ouais. Comme dans Resident Evil.
Eh ben, je sais pas parce que j'ai jamais joué à Resident Evil. Alors, ok. Là, je peux faire pas mal de trucs pour améliorer les armes et pour faire de l'artisanat. Des bouteilles d'alcool faible valeur à la revente. Ok. Là, j'ai pas d'amélioration possible. Non. Pas d'amélioration possible. Là, pareil. Et là, pareil. Ok. Et là, traitement pour le sepsis. Ok. En fait, je ne peux rien faire, globalement. C'est déjà bien hein, d'avoir découvert. Et là, avec 790 points, est-ce que j'ai moyen d'améliorer un truc ou d'apprendre une compétence? Je crois que c'est 1000 au minimum. J'ai l'impression. Ah non, 300. Augmente votre santé. Ok, ça c'est toujours pratique. C'est cool. Donc la santé, ok. Soif insatiable, augmente la quantité de sang absorbée. Ok. Bon, ça si je peux, je vais augmenter. Hop, la capacité d'absorption. Et je pense que c'est tout ce que je vais pouvoir augmenter parce que les compétences passives du coup, c'est 300 pour la première amie. Donc on valide comme ça. La nuit suivante. Ok, bon on va repartir. On est pas mal. Hop. Donc là, il y a des rats. Je voudrais essayer d'en choper un. Hop.
It's locked. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Il y a un truc bizarre qui se trame par là. Je le sens pas du tout. Un inconnu. Et j'ai entendu William. J'ai entendu, ouais, William, faut pas que tu sois déçu, ou une connerie du genre. Ah, une faussée. Arme à deux mains. On va regarder ça. Ça a l'air pas mal.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Ah ouais, ok, c'est confronter William Bishop direct.
Please, let go of me.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Ouais, tu vas te défendre, mon gars. Ok. Attends, j'ai cru voir des trucs à récup. J'explore avant parce que... Après on va me dire, ah non, c'est trop tard. Des petits chillings. Bon allez, ok, je te parle.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Ok.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Scal?
You truly are
Ah bah
a
c'est la
newborn.
confrérie
I should have realized.
Wait,
dont on a entendu parler
you are the
par
woman
Tom
from the
dans la
bar.
taverne.
Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Ah.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take
T'as
good care
entendu
of you.
comment il m'a gueulé dessus?
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Ok. Donc là, je dois inspecter la victime.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Qu'est-ce que t'as? D'accord. Donc là, on part en bateau avec un mec.
Where
Bah,
are we
avec
headed?
le docteur Swansea.
We're on
en
our
fait.
way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
No, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back.
Bah, c'est la femme avec
I will tell
qui
you
était
she
dans le
values her
bureau là à
privacy.
l'étage. Je pense.
Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always
Putain, on
tried
est
to
allé 2
avoid this
fois à
part of
Londres,
the
on n'a
town.
jamais été sur le...
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The
lac
flu has
Antoine à
decimated the
Londres.
East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the
Sur la
front
Tamise.
lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea.
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself. Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Bon, allez, encore une petite demi-heure de stream et j'arrêterai pour la première partie du jeu, je pense. Je sais pas du tout combien de temps il dure. Est-ce que tu peux regarder sur internet?
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton.
D'accord.
Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country. Will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
De 2 heures,
It is
quoi.
good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. I'm coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Je la sens pas, la Nurse Crane. Elle me paraît louche. Pénétrer dans le Pembroke Hospital. Ici, j'ai pas envie. Non, mais on va aller voir, bien sûr.
I cannot enter.
Je veux fouiller un petit peu les environs avant. Voir ce qui s'y passe, ce qui s'y dit.
Rotten or pristine, each heart continues the flow of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please.
Pas, bah ouais,
You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright,
Je vais le prévenir avant de le croquer.
I'm in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Alors, qualité du sang. La qualité du sang indique la quantité d'expérience que vous pouvez retirer à un citoyen. Plus la qualité est bonne, plus la qualité d'expérience reçue est importante. Ok, afin de boire le sang d'une proie, vous devez d'abord la charmer pour l'attirer vers un lieu à l'abri des regards. D'accord. Ah, je suis obligée de le charmer là? Mais j'ai pas envie de le charmer.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Étreindre ou relâcher. Ah, trop dur. Est-ce que je suis sympa? Je vais le relâcher.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Did I black out?
Je peux pas lui parler plus que ça. Faut que j'attende qu'il soit posé.
What happened?
Ok, bon, je le laisse tranquille. Je vois que c'est 1000 peines perdues pour lui faire cracher un truc. Je crois que la première fois que j'avais joué...
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
J'ai pas compris.
En gros, c'était comme une sorte de voix en toi qui disait que tu l'as laissé s'échapper, mais au bout d'un moment, il faudra que tu bouffes, quoi.
Ah ouais. Oui, bon, on verra quand je serai affamée. Hein. On va pas commencer à bouffer tout le monde. Hein. Il m'a rien fait, le pauvre mec. Bah, il m'a un peu mal parlé, mais si je commence à tuer tous ceux qui me parlent mal, on va pas sortir. j'explore un petit peu les alentours de l'hôpital. Oh, je pense que je vais rentrer dans l'hôpital direct. Ce sera tout aussi simple, mais je veux rentrer par la porte principale. J'ai senti une boule de poil quand j'ai passé ma main derrière le canapé, je me suis dit que c'était elle.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, voilà, Madame
Doctor,
Crane.
where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane.
Il y a moyen de la
Welcome to
questionner,
Pembroke
quoi.
Hospital,
Elle
Dr.
paraît.
Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Mais excusez-moi,
And
j'ai
Mr.
dit
Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me.
Ok, elle a
The
pas l'air
administrator has
commode.
better things to
Elle
do
peut
than mix
répondre
with
à
us.
aucune de nos questions.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Mais il y a plein de gens à qui on va pouvoir poser des questions, je pense. Ah, lui, il a pas l'air en pleine forme. Lui non plus, c'est un homme, une femme, je sais pas trop. Ah bon, elle a un masque. Coronavirus. Tu vois, ça a commencé comme ça. Je suis sûre. Moi, je cherche des gens à qui parler. Ah, tiens, lui, là. Il va avoir des choses.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand.
À l'époque, ça devait pas être hyper
Well, I'm no
courant,
doctor, but I'm pretty sure a
que
gun
des
can't be used as a
blacks
surgical
aient un
instrument.
You have a
poste comme
keen
ça.
eye. I learned to
Que
shoot during the
ambulancier
war.
d'un
I've carried
hôpital à
one
Londres,
ever
c'est quand
since.
même pas...
Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Pour la mixité.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Ok. Waouh, mais il y a trop de questions à poser.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly
Eh
in this
bien,
hospital?
te le dire.
Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Ok.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped from the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Je vais aller leur mettre à manger parce qu'ils vont pas arrêter. Un jour, elle va me faire mal en fait à sauter comme ça.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Goodbye, Milton.
Quoi? Mais j'ai pas dit au revoir? Nimp? Je lui ai demandé de faire affaire avec moi. Et Milton, attends.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Ah, ok. Il me faut que des indices.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been
Il y a
attacked by
Captain
patients,
Nico
you
qui est en
know.
train de
And by gang
poursuivre
members
un de
willing
nos
to
chats.
steal my money.
Le chat, il est genre en panique comme jamais.
You're selling
Genre,
guns to civilians.
effrayé
Keep
comme
people alive
Jaja.
your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Mais pourquoi tu lui fais peur comme ça? La pauvre. Je vais faire pareil au tien, tu vas voir.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A
Elle
reliable
a
gun
trop
is what
peur.
everybody needs these days.
Abusé de faire ça. Ah ouais, je peux lui acheter des armes. Pas mal.
Good evening,
Peut-être ne
Good
pars
evening,
pas
Doctor.
trop loin,
Still trying to
Milton.
save lives?
J'en ai pas fini avec toi. Enfin si, du coup j'en ai
Goodbye,
fini.
Milton.
Ciao, ciao. Ok, bon, il y a certainement d'autres trucs à trouver déjà dehors. Je pense qu'on est loin d'avoir fini la petite explo du camp extérieur. Mais peut-être que je me plante. Au pire, je peux toujours aller ouvrir mon bureau. Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
Good evening, sir.
Ah,
So it is true.
là un autre mec.
The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
D'accord.
Do we know each other?
Après, s'ils sont suffisamment cons pour pas
Actually, yes.
reculer la tête.
We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor
trop peur
Carell
de
in
toi
his
maintenant, elle est
research
trop
about
stressée.
coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for
Bon,
you.
dès qu'elle va voir que tu vas vers les
He was
croquettes, elle
also
va
very
oublier
confident
cette
about
peur.
your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Ok.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
Ah, on a un nouvel indice dispo. Alors, il est convaincu que Gwyneth Brannigan est surqualifiée pour son poste d'infirmière. Ok, je vais certainement pouvoir le questionner par rapport à ça. C'est cool, j'ai pas mal de portraits là qui se dévoilent. C'est plutôt chouette, j'ai hâte de voir en fait ce que ça va pouvoir donner. Ah, ça c'est le mec que j'ai sauvé, ok.
I'll go even further.
Je pense que j'ai
If she
bien
was a
fait de pas le
man,
tuer.
she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr.
Ah,
Swansea's
c'est
reserve,
délicat.
but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes,
Bah, je l'ai
the burden
sauvé
of
en quelque
command.
sorte parce que je l'ai mis dans un coin
I was fed
tranquille
up
où,
with this concept
il va
while serving
pouvoir
as a
se
medical
reposer et récupérer, tu vois.
Don't get me wrong.
Si je
Swansea's
l'avais
a good
laissé en plein milieu
administrator.
de la
I just
rue,
wish he would get out of his office now and again.
peut-être quelqu'un de mal intentionné qui... Hein. D'accord, lui je peux pas le charmer. Je peux pas lui poser de questions comme ça. Et je peux pas encore lui poser de
Goodbye,
questions
Dr.
personnelles non plus. Il faut que je débloque vachement plus de trucs en fait. Avant de pouvoir espérer... Mais en fait, j'ai l'impression que ça se débloque
This place seems
au
perfect to
fur et à
conduct my
mesure où
research.
tu parles à des gens en fait. Éviter la maladie, do not cough in public. Ah bah c'est ce qu'on nous demande. C'est ça. Mais moi je vous dis, il y a beaucoup de similitudes avec le corona dans leur truc. Ah tiens, une patiente, ça peut être intéressant ça.
I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh c'est possible, je sais
Your
plus.
name has no meaning to me, mortal.
Mortel.
Nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
Je suis un vampire cocotte.
What are you begging for, mortal? My
Ça fait
clemency?
quoi, juste?
Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling
Ok,
me
donc elle
mortal.
c'est Thelma.
Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
I'm a vampire. Alors...
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the
bah, c'est
only
du sang,
drug
la
I
seule chose.
need.
Bah ouais. C'était sûr. C'était beaucoup trop sûr.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe
Elle a
anything.
peut-être
It
vu
is what I am.
un vampire
It is what I
s'attaquer à
feel
quelqu'un.
within this hollow shell of flesh.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefied, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty.
Alors... Bah... On sait pas si elle est atteinte du syndrome, peut-être qu'elle est vraiment vampire.
Immortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Elle est en manque.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howard?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Ah, j'ai une nouvelle enquête.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Ok, bon, je pense qu'on n'apprendra plus rien.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Ah, donc son sang va... Ah si, elle est en bonne santé apparemment.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Ah, donc elle a un truc contre Nurse Brannigan.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
Ah, c'est la grippe espagnole.
Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Bienvenue au club.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerning doctors.
Ah.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis?
Il a pas l'air d'y
Is
avoir
it just
une
an
super
act?
bonne ambiance
Milton's
dans
not the
l'équipe
kind of man who's bothered about a bad
l'hôpital, hein.
reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Ça a l'air d'être un peu... Ah, on a eu un détail sur Milton normalement. Donc on sait désormais que Milton a une mauvaise réputation. Ok. C'est toujours bon de le savoir.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Donc on en a fini avec les questions sur l'hôpital. On va voir si on peut lui poser des questions perso. Ah ouais, il y en a une que je peux pas poser. Et là, je peux pas poser non plus.
Goodbye,
Donc
Nurse Hawkins.
on n'a plus rien à apprendre sur elle. Pour l'instant. Haha, je me vois pas dans le miroir. Je vois qu'une ombre. L'ombre de moi-même.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of you, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Ah ouais.
Do you need my medical
Genre le
attention,
mec,
dear
il
colleague?
connaît
You
notre
don't have to
travail.
worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Ok. Ah ouais, 2000 expériences si je le bouffe.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Ok.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Je vais le mettre en confiance.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager
Il
to
a l'air
learn.
de bien m'aimer
I'll
de
be glad
base.
to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you...
Alors... Ok. On sait donc que c'est un
may
chercheur
remain
un peu raté.
empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite
Il fait un peu
optimistic.
lèche-botte sur les bords, je trouve.
It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Donc
Do
je
you
vais
want me
avoir
to
une
play
quête
the
secondaire.
errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Ok, nouvelle quête. Enfin, enquête, pardon. Donc pour la vie à Londres, on a tout fait. Pour les questions perso,
Tell me
J'en ai
more about
débloqué
your
une
willingness
seule.
to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me
Oh, je
Mr.
veux savoir.
Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ok.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Ok, on en
Goodbye,
a fini
Dr.
avec
Strickland.
lui.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansey's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Do you need my assistance?
Not at all. I'm sure that you are used to gaining people's trust with your impressive skills. Well, it will not be the case with me.
Ok.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative. It is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure. But my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
I will not let you down.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I had no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Ok, je pense avoir questionné pas mal de monde. Oh là, mais il en reste.
You always knew the words to calm.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan
Ah,
Reed.
ça va être la
How can I
merde
help
de-
your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
I have other concerns right now, Doctor. But I'm fine, thank you.
Ah ouais, niveau 4.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Donc, Pippa Hawkins. Elle profite de l'argent des gens. Ok.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. but I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
I will see you later. How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Ok. Bon, est-ce qu'on a fait le tour globalement? Je ne sais pas trop. J'ai pas vraiment l'impression. J'aurais bien aimé retrouver l'infirmière là qui a fait payer dans le vide à une patiente histoire de la questionner un peu. Ah, il y a un autre côté. Ah, c'est pas si simple, hein.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off.
Un obus allemand qui lui
But
a
they still
défoncé
call
la
me
moitié du
Thomas
visage.
Elwood.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
Ok, ben... Oh. Tu vas parler meilleur, mon petit gars. Est-ce que je le charme? Je vais le charmer. Ah, je vais pouvoir le croquer. Ah mais non, je vais le mettre dans un coin plus discret. Ah merde, je peux plus lui parler maintenant. Ah si, faut que j'attende qu'il se rassied.
Damn.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
J'ai perdu 5 abonnés depuis le début du live. 391. Ouais, je m'en fiche.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome.
Bon,
She
puis
truly
même
believes
si ça
she's a
vous saoule
vampire.
les likes,
In her
je
madness,
quand même.
she never refers to my
Je peux
scars.
pas attendre l'autorisation.
Frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Ok. Donc lui, il se laisse mordre par la fille
Goodbye
qui
for
pense être
now,
un
Mr.
vampire.
Disgust on every
Donc
street.
peut-être que c'est quand même un vampire. Hein.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union.
J'ai trop envie de retourner à
The
Londres.
Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Deuce Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Ok, donc là, on a fini de lui parler.
It's locked.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Fear and disgust on every
Ah,
street
elle m'a
corner.
parlé.
Good evening, Miss Halcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could just think again. Discard.
Alors... Donc j'en sais plus sur personne. Il y en a un que je suis censée soigner du coup avec un remède que je n'ai pas. Que j'ai pas eu l'occasion de pouvoir bricoler pour l'instant. En tout cas. J'aimerais bien trouver de quoi le faire. Donc normalement, j'ai mon bureau qui m'attend quelque part à l'étage.
I cannot enter.
Not now.
Ah, ok. Je peux pas aller voir le docteur Swansea maintenant. Alors...
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Alors, est-ce que j'ai moyen de faire un traitement? Toujours pas.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Là, faut que j'aille dans le jardin. Mais où est le jardin?
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Ah, ça sent la bagarre.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Facile à trouver leur jardin là. Trouver le portefeuille perdu.
It's locked, all right. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful. Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Do you need medical attention?
I'm feeling all right, Doctor. But perhaps it is because I, too, am used to the smell of the dead.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Ok. Petite question personnelle.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Ouais, donc c'est un prêteur sans gage.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Bon, il va rentrer, je vais rentrer en même temps que tu vas voir. Hop. Non, putain, je peux pas.
I'm sorry you ended up in my place.
It's locked.
Medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same room.
14, 19, 7, 7, 5. Mais où est-ce que je trouve ce foutu portefeuille perdu? S'il est perdu, c'est pour une bonne raison. Ah, d'ailleurs, il va peut-être falloir que je le nourrisse. Mon petit vampire là. Il n'y a pas des rats quelque part? Mais je sais pas où c'est. Je trouve pas. Moi je veux bien trouver un portefeuille perdu dans un jardin, mais... Je vais être obligée d'aller voir sur internet. C'est ce qu'on appelle faire comme on peut. Je cherche. Je ne fais que ça. Chercher. Il doit être quelque part. Désolée, on n'a pas de portefeuille. En même temps, c'est un bordel là sur leur terrain, franchement. C'est abusé.
Can you remind me why we still work here?
Dr. Reed will help straighten things out in Pembroke, remember?
éclater une pièce en bois, ça paraît exprès. Mais je sais pas, avec ces super pouvoirs, je devrais voir les portefeuilles, non?
It's locked.
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin. That's what you do.
Merde, je vais le mordre. Bah ouais, parce que là, franchement, c'est impossible. Je crois. Je crois qu'en fait, je suis pas du tout au bon endroit. Mais genre vraiment pas du tout. Alors... Ok. Donc apparemment... Là... J'ai la morgue, ouais, qui est en bas. Ok. Et rejoignez la zone image 5. Oh, c'est chaud.
More determination. I know I can count. I wish I could say the same for the others.
En fait, le jardin, il est indiqué nulle part, donc...
You're pushing yourself too hard.
Ça c'est la morgue. J'ai l'impression d'être au bon endroit.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Je vais essayer de trouver toute seule.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples, just like you, come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging,
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Goodbye, Milton.
Et voilà, première journée en tant que vampire terminée. Alors... Voilà, on a nos améliorations de faites.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up!
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Bon, bah, je pense qu'on va s'arrêter ici. Là, on rentre du coup dans la morgue. On a terminé la première journée, on a fait nos améliorations. On doit aller récupérer des antiseptiques pour le docteur Swansea. Sauf que je pense clairement que dans la morgue, on va pas être tout seul. Ça me surprendrait beaucoup, je pense qu'on va avoir pas mal de bastons. Et j'aime pas finir juste après une baston, donc je préfère encore finir juste après. J'essaie d'analyser un petit peu, mais ouais, je pense vraiment que ça va être un peu la première grosse bagarre du... Enfin, grosse bagarre. La première bagarre du jeu, quoi. Donc, je vais m'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Et je vous dis à très bientôt, du coup, pour la deuxième partie. Certainement demain ou dans le week-end. Voilà. Allez, salut! Je fais ça.